Okay, hello Doral and welcome to the very first episode of Doral Homes Real Estate Talks. I'm your host, Betty Gonzalez, and I am absolutely thrilled to kick off this journey with all of you. For those who might be tuning in for the first time, I am not just your host. I am also a proud member of the Doral community and real estate enthusiast with a passion for connecting with the dream homes with the people of Doral. As a local real estate agent, my mission is to make the process of buying and selling a home as seamless as a Miami breeze. Whether you're a seasoned homeowner, a first-time buyer, or just someone curious about the local real estate scene, this podcast is for you. Each week, we'll dive into discussions about market trends, expert insights, and everything you need to know about the vibrant real estate landscape right here in Doral, Florida. But more than just real estate, we are here to build a community. So feel free to drop your questions, share your experiences, and let's make this podcast a space where our community comes together. I can't wait to embark in this journey with you all. So without any further ado, let's dive into the world of Doral Real Estate Talks. And to kick things off, I have my very first guest today, Kristel Caniquitte. I hope I didn't mess up your name.
You said it right.
So good morning, Kristel, and thank you for being here today.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, Betty's platform, Facebook, and wherever you're going to be watching from. And I want to say, everything you shared, there's one thing that really resonated with me in alignment with who you are. It's that excitement, that energy. Right. So you said the energetic, and oh my gosh, she just totally did her introduction, so energized and pumped up to share information, to educate, and to provide information that really helps future homeowners or current homeowners who would like to buy another property in or investing just in general in real estate, in how she's going to show up for us. So I love it. Thank you, Betty. So I'm going to take a quick second to introduce myself so people know who I am.
Thank you.
So I'm Kristel Caniquitte, and I'm originally from the Caribbean. So my first language is French. So this is for people who speak French or Haitians. I will try un poquito. I was going to say in Spanish now. I got confused. I can try in Creole, but it's not the best thing for me to communicate in Creole. And I do speak Spanish as well. My first community that I was assisting and helping in Atlanta was the Hispanic community. I worked for what we call El Presidente for mortgages back in 1998. I was a processor. So I've been in the industry for over 25 years, starting with one of the most important roles. And I say most important because the person who's helping me now as a loan officer is the processor. So it's the person who's reviewing all of the details before it goes to underwriting. And that was my role. So I'm very detailed when I review your files to help you get through underwriting with success. So again, I started in Georgia, but I'm here in Florida now. Although right now, physically, I'm in the Northeast, but I work remotely. So if you follow me, you see sometimes some amazing pictures of where I am in the US. But I have a passion for helping people really understand what they're signing or before they go to closing and what they're going to be signing on the mortgage, because this is your biggest investment. 30-year mortgage is most people will get, even though they don't stay in that mortgage that long. It is the most important investment, right? It's the roof over your head. It's the property you're going to be investing to make income. So I love to be able to educate so people understand what they are signing for, what they're investing in.
Wow,
so I want
thank you so much.
Basically shut up.
No, thank you so much. Wow, what a vast experience. Thank you for what you're doing, and really appreciate from the bottom of my heart for you to take your time this morning to help educate the real estate community here in South Florida. So what based on what you just said, that your passion is here to help people get into the dream homes, and given the current market trends in the real estate climate right now, what are some of the trends you're seeing in our local mortgage markets? Any insight into interest rates or loan programs that our viewers should be aware of right now?
So I think everybody knows the rates are more than double than where they were last year in 2021, and higher than 2022. So yes, rates are high. Right? We're looking at rates are over 7% interest rates. You can just Google that information. You can see that. And world events like what's going on in Israel and, the war there also will have impacts of how the Treasury, the government is going to be making adjustments that will impact us. And I'm saying that the Treasury, so a lot of people, when they hear the Feds raise the rate, they think automatically it's the mortgage rate that's impacted. So it's not that direct impact. However, the Treasury rate, so the Treasury bond and yield is what you want to look up and see what's happening, because that's more of a direct correlation. So we can keep up with what the market is doing, but the reality, we can't control that. We can look up at what the prices of the homes are doing, which in Miami, oh my gosh, it's the average is so high compared to a lot of other areas. So it's challenging affordability, but there are options to help homeowners qualify. And it's a mindset. It's like, okay, if I can't buy specifically downtown Miami or certain areas, where else? What type of home can I buy? So we're going to dive into a little bit more in multifamily, which I will explain why that can be an option. And so the trend right now is, yes, the mortgage rates are high. Yes, the prices of the homes have gone up, and there are options. Like at CMG, we do have a program that's called the List and Lock. So a lot of sellers are not placing their homes on the market right now because they're like, well, if I sell my primary residence, where am I going to move to? Right? If I sell my home, my mortgage rate is going to be higher than what I have. Their own affordability is now impacted. So we have a program that's called List and Lock, which is allowing discounted interest rate for the future homeowner, which is the reduction in the monthly payment. So there are ways to purchase right now for those who it benefits. I'm not going to say it's for everyone, right? If you're in a home and you're comfortable, that may not be the next home to purchase now. But if you're renting, it may still make sense for someone to purchase, right? Still knowing what your budget is, still doing analysis of, okay, this is what I'm comfortable paying, or this is where I may have to make adjustments. Or I've had clients who decide to go to different town just to make sure they can purchase their home, because real estate is still the place that when you invest, you're going to get a return.
Yeah,
right?
so
That equity.
So what you're telling me is you're seeing clients that are priced out of the markets that otherwise that they would have bought, let's say,
Yes.
a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, okay, so I've learned something new. I just wrote down Lease and Lock for discount.
The List and Lock, yes.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. So this is why I wanted to bring you on, because there's programs out there that is so many of them that is really hard to just keep up. So that's why we need to bring, guests just like you every week so that we can educate our, future buyers or even sellers. So thank you for sharing that. So do you know of any new programs that you believe would be helpful for our viewers to know?
Well, I would say depending on where you're at, look up locally. Like I just had a client, I believe it was in West Palm, that she has found a program, and it's happening this week. And there's a short window where the county is the city. I don't remember which one, because sometimes it's a county, sometimes it's a city. They're giving $100,000 to help first-time home buyers. So that one client who basically did not have, maybe had their 3% down, but because of the price of the home, $100,000 makes a world of a difference in the ability to purchase, right? So certain counties, like even Broward, I know that they have assistance also. I think it's about $40,000 in certain cities, but it's first come, first serve. So it's only a limited number of families who can get those funds, and it's very rigid on the qualification, right? So you have the income limit. There are certain criteria to fall under to be able to qualify, but there are options out there. Sometimes it just requires digging through a little bit more. Recently, a client did tell me about a program in Miami-Dade. So it's just a matter of looking based on if they're first-time buyers, income bracket, what options there are for down payment assistance. Those are more like grants.
Okay. Thank you for that. I was not aware of that. Those are programs, like you said, by counties. So this one will be specific in West Palm. So what about the conventional max loan amount? Have they done any change?
That changed. Yes. So thanks for asking that, because every year, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is what the conventional people here. I'm going to do a conventional loan, and we'll, in future sections, we're going to go ahead and dive more into those options. But I want to just share that it is important to know in Miami, because of the price, when I'm going to share my screen in a moment, the maximum loan amount, and I'm glad that they changed the amount because it was 726,200. I'm like, can we just do an even number, easier to remember?
Yeah.
So now we are going to go up in that dollar amount, and it's usually starting in January, right? So it's 726,500. I have to double check that. I just ran a blank now, but I'll look that up for you right now so I can share, because I thought I had it in my notes, because this is going to be effective in January. And
you're talking about January 2024.
24, yes. However, CMG and other lenders are starting to offer that as an option already now. So if you are in the market to purchase and you're doing the conventional financing, you can do 3% down. And then it's 750, sorry. So $750,000 is now the maximum effective January, but some lenders like my company are starting to offer it as an option. Okay, what does that mean though for clients? 750 loan amount.
Yeah,
that means the sales price.
I was about to ask you, like, could you please explain to our viewers what the 750? Because a lot of them be like, wait a minute, so I can buy a house now? I mean, and I know that the average over here in Doral is probably more than that right of this time. So
actually, let me go ahead and share my screen on this. I believe this is this right here. So the average price in Miami-Dade is between 600,000 and $1 million.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So what that means is, like, if somebody is going to be putting 3% down, okay, on a home, the maximum sales price is going to be 773, and it's still between that bracket of the maximum or the average loan of average prices of homes right now. So a person who's putting 3%, which is going to be a first-time buyer, basically hasn't owned a home in the last 3 years, their sales price is going to be in the 773,000. Somebody who's putting 5% down, that means their price point is going to be about $789,000. Now, somebody's looking to buy a $300,000 home. It's like, well, that doesn't impact me. No, it doesn't. This is the maximum financing. The reason why it's important is because if you're buying a house that's going to be, let's say, $800,000, and you're putting 3% down,
okay,
you are over that financing amount. So that means you're jumping into what we call a jumbo. That's a whole different criteria. So the advantage of raising the loan amount is that it helps clients not have to show so much money down, not have to put so much money down. So it just helps a new bracket of clients to be able to qualify versus having to do what we call jumbo.
Okay. So
also for you,
go ahead.
as a veteran, it also is rising the maximum financing on a VA financing, because VA follows the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loan amounts. Although there is jumbo ways of doing it with VA, but the traditional 100% VA direct type financing is going to be the same as this amount that I just gave you, the $750,000. So veterans, 100% financing, loan amount $750,000.
All right. Well, that's good. So you said the loan amount up to $750,000 because they're
correct.
Zero down. So let me recap. So to see if I understand it correctly, because I'm not a loan officer. I just help people find and sell their houses. But I want to learn more, and I want my clients to know and our viewers to understand it. So $750,000 max loan amount, meaning what the bank is willing to lend the client. So if the loan amount could be a little higher if they're putting the money down. So
that's right.
As long as the only finance amount is $750,000.
You got it. Now,
for my veteran viewers, since they're putting zero down, it will be the max amount and the max loan amount of $750,000.
If they're not putting money, because they can also put more money down.
If they're not putting anything down. Yeah,
yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that and to let us know about these new changes that are coming up in the next year, which, if you think about it, Kristel, that's only 2.5 months from now.
It is.
It's not really that far. When you think about the average buyer, especially in this landscape, it takes them 3 to 4 or 5 months to find a home. So this is good to know now. And also, you said that the program, your lender is allowing clients to kind of look into this program now. So
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that so the viewers know how you can help them?
Right. So if somebody is already on the market and looking, and they basically had that maximum of 726,200, which is effective until the end of this year, now they're able to bump up their loan amount financing. And I've had that happen before, where a client was just at that cusp of like being that jumbo or the conventional, and that helped them with staying with the conventional, because the difference is that you can put 3% down, you can put 5% down, and you don't have to show 6 months of your monthly payment in reserve. So you can already start looking now versus waiting in January to look at properties and get into that, if that's your bracket.
Gotcha. No. And regardless, I mean, if people are brand new and they're trying, or they're just thinking about either buying or putting their house on the market, that then they're gonna be a buyer as well, then I'm telling you right now, you want to start looking now, because it's taking longer to find the actual house that you want, and in the price bracket, it's a little bit more challenging. But not to say that people cannot do it. It's just taking a little bit more time to find exactly what you want in the price that you wanted. And thank you so much for letting us know about this new program that you guys are offering. That's awesome, because I also didn't know about this program. So now, could you tell me a little bit more about, because we just talked about the single family homes, what do you have as far as multi-family units requirements? Any changes there?
There are some changes there. So thank you for asking about that. And before I talk about the change, I want to explain who this is for, right? So a multi-family is basically properties that are converted legally, meaning, because some people have, an in-law suite, and they're displaying it on the Realtor.com or MLS, and it's basically sent as a multifamily, and they're not legally set up as multifamily. And when that's the case, it can create issues for financing. So we're talking about 2 units to 4 unit property. So that's going to be your multifamily, duplex to a quadruplex. Legally, yes.
Okay, that's the key.
Because yes, and we've come across that a lot, and we can extend the financing, and they buy it cash. So 2 units. So this is going to be for someone, let's say they're currently renting and they are buying a home, but now they have their in-laws or their mom-in-law, but they don't want them in the same house, or they have their kids and they can't afford a home. So it's like families coming together and now affording a home together without having to be under the quote unquote same, it's the same roof, but it's going to be divided, right? You have your units and I have mine. So that's for this type of family. Or it could be for investors. But the reason why I want to really share about this for owner occupied, this is for the person who has a mentality of, you know what, I want to invest in real estate, not just for me to have a home over my a roof over my head, but also because I want to have income. I'm talking about income producing property. So you move into one unit and you rent the other unit. Okay. Now the other unit is now, we can use that as income to qualify the person. So it helps in the qualification. Okay. Now you decide to move out of this property. You now have 2 units or 3 units or 4 units, depending on, the number of units you initially purchased. So this is for someone who is interested in investing in real estate. This is for someone who is, I want to have my privacy, but I also want to have my mom to have her own unit. So that becomes a perfect place to have multi-family or multi-generational home. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, especially
Perfect.
here in South Florida, when Hispanics, besides
cousins can move in with them. Yeah.
I mean, a multi-generational family not only means your parents, also it could be your own kids now. And it could be like 3 generations living with you, because Hispanics, we like to live with our family members, extended family members. But even if they didn't like to, it's so expensive right now.
Right.
So sometimes it's out of necessity that we have to do this. So let me ask this. So because I think this went by too fast, and I don't want any of our viewers to let this go. So you said 2 to 4 units, the multifamily that are legally with the city. that they before were required 15 to 25% down. Now they're only requiring 5% down.
As long as it's owner occupied. That is correct. So this is for your owner occupied property. And I'm going to share my screen again just so it can register. So we already went over that. Can you see my screen where it shows the 5% down?
Oh, yes.
Introducing Fannie Mae. Okay. So basically, owner occupied used to be 15 to 25% down. And now, like I said, it's right off the press, right? October 4th.
Oh, wow.
You're purchasing 2 units, it's now 5% down. You're purchasing 3 to 4 units, it's 5% down. So it's making a world of a difference for people who before wanted to do this, but couldn't, right? Because they had to put 15 to 25%. Now it's 5%.
Got you. No, thank you so much. Again, I did not know this, and I'm so glad that you came on for our first episode. Hey guys, remember, if you have any questions, please.
I want to, Betty, before you close out, I want to ask something else. Are you closing out? Don't close out.
No,
yet.
I'm not closing out.
More.
I'm just reminding the viewers that if they have any questions during the time that we're talking, to just drop it down in the comments or put it down if you're watching this recording after the live. Then we'll try to answer to the best of our abilities. But please, any questions? I know she's dropping a lot of bombs right now, and I don't want to miss any of this because I myself have a tons of questions, but I want to be mindful of Kristel time, and I'm not gonna want to keep her here forever. So go ahead, Kristel. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure that I also spoke about FHA because this is conventional, right? And FHA has also the ability to do up to 4 units. Can you still see my HUD?
Yes, I
okay. So this is for everyone who can Google this. You can Google FHA loan limit in your county because it's based on the county. So Broward, Miami, if you buy a home FHA 1 unit, remember how I mentioned it was $750 or $726, $200 conventional? It's lower FHA. So FHA is more flexible type of financing. Can start at scores as 580 and easier to qualify for, right? But you're limited. And what did we say? The average price point in Miami is $600,000 to $1 million.
Right.
So a family who's finding a 1 unit, this is going to be the maximum loan, which is still durable because an average doesn't mean there isn't less, right? It's just the average. Now, a family, meaning 2 units, 3 units, or 4, you can see how this is gradually increasing on the amount that can be financed. And this is with 3.5% down, not even 5, 3.5%.
Wow. So as long as you live in one of the units, you can qualify to purchase. Okay. And if it is, okay, so the difference with the FHA and conventional, FHA allows you, even if it's a multi-family unit, as long as you live in one of them, to put down 3.5%. For conventional, it's giving you a little bit more of the limit, but you have to put in 5% instead of 25. Okay, this is really, really good to know.
Yes. So that's really what I wanted to share. I mean, we covered, loan amount going up as well as down payment requirements going down. So this is what I want to share before you close out. We started with the market trend, right? Prices going up, the interest rates being high. We can't control those things. The only thing we can control is the person's credit, their income, and your debts, right? So whether or not you are able to purchase right now, things shift. Things don't always remain constant. We know that, right? So at some point, things are going to shift. Which direction? Some will say a different direction. Some will say a different direction, right? So the only thing we can control is where are you at? So I would say book a time with Betty or myself, or with the both of us, and let's talk about what you can control. I'm very creative in thinking outside the box in helping clients achieve that goal. Sometimes we're going to have straightforward conversation of like, all right, you have a college degree, when you are so much student loan, it's time to look for that next job that you went to school for and up your income, right? Because I'm going to hold your hand as much as you let me and be accountable to achieve that goal. But we can control credit, we can control income. Let's work on the things we can control. Your funds to purchase. So let's have those conversations because everything else is out of our control.
Well, thank you, Kristel, for those pointers. And that's a great advice because sometimes people believe I have clients actually tell me, but Betty, do that magic wand. And I was like, yes, we can only take you as long as you allow us to take you, but the rest, you actually have to do the work. We do our part and you have to do your part. So thank you so much, Kristel. Before I let you go, where can viewers find you?
So you can definitely Google me, Kristel Caniquitte, as it's on displayed here. I will go ahead and share with you, Betty, my calendar, so you can put it in the comments so people can see it, or in the description of the program. I would say book a time with me. I am definitely virtual because, like I said, I'm in New Hampshire right now, but I am working probably more hours than some people who are local, closing their doors at 5. So definitely book a time off my calendar, and let's have a chat. It's free consultation. Let's see where you're at. Let's see what you need to do. And I just love to connect with people. So let's see what we can do.
Oh, no, thank you. Again, guys, I'm going to leave all of the information in the description below. Thank you for watching our first episode of Doral Homes Real Estate Talk today. Kristel was our first invite person here to come, and thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And I hope to see more of you. Hopefully we can do it a few times a month, or maybe you can come in 2 months if you're too busy. But thank you so much. See you guys, and until the next one, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.